beginning of the lake, so far as we can tell, happened in the 1930s. I think it was 1937 when they actually built the dam. It was built by the WPA, and that was a program that Franklin Delano Roosevelt had implemented when he took over as president. The dam was built on a drainage ditch in Oblong, and they dug it by hand and filled the dam in, just an earthen dam, and then started backing up the water, and they wound up with about a 6-acre lake there in Oblong. The lake, of course, with the runoff, it had a lot of sediment in it from the runoff, the dirt and things like that. And it went into the main pool of the lake and settled out. And pretty soon the lake filled up. It was all dirt. So they dredged it, they drained the lake, dredged it out by mounding up the sediment into 3 big islands. Filled the lake again, but they didn't take into account anything for the sediment to take care of that. They drained it first time in the 50s, then they drained it again, but at the second time they wanted to do it right, and it had gotten to be such an eyesore. A committee of concerned citizens got together. They had a town meeting, and they invited the politicians and all to come. They wrote a grant for the Mary Heath Foundation and were awarded $35,000. And the village board decided they would put in $40,000 towards the project. And then the volunteers went to work. They had bean suppers and barbecue suppers. If you could eat it, they would sell it. And they sold T-shirts and mementos. And I mean, they raised thousands of dollars that way through hard work and determination. Probably one of the nicest things that came out of this, they made a memorial wall. And they mounted it in the northeast corner of the park. And people who wanted to donate, to the project, but couldn't help, or something like that, they donated, and then they inscribed the name of the company or the individual on the bricks in the wall. And it's still there, and it's very beautiful. They've landscaped it, and it's very beautiful. One of the big things they did at this time, they hired a couple of people, John W. Collins and Norman Coker. Now these guys were heavy equipment operators. They drained it, dredged the lake, and the volunteers drove trucks and they hauled it off and then refilled it. They got a whole year of activities. They got a hootenanny where they have live entertainment and fireworks over the water. The Crawford County Fair, of course, meets every year. The Crawford County 4-H, the Antique Tractor and Engine Show. There's an Easter egg hunt, a fall demo derby, which is really popular. President of the Lake Committee, Rick Holt, was president for a long time, and he said so many people did so much. And I think I would like to sum that up by just taking a little bit of his saying and say, never tell a group of determined Oblong volunteers something big can't be done. At least don't tell them that while you're standing between them and the object of their program, because you're going to get overrun and overwhelmed and left in the dust. So I would say that the only thing left behind was so many did so much, but it's just an Oblong state of mind.
Isaac and Deborah Denson Hudson came from Chillicothe, Ohio. In 1811, they came to Fort Terman, which is over across the river at Sullivan County, Indiana, near Graysville. And they liked the north end of Lamont Prairie, so he built his cabin there. One day in 1813, when he was gone to the mill at Palestine, which were the only people around, when he came home, his family had been killed. His cabin was burned, so he crossed back over the river and went back to Fort Terman, where he later joined the Army at Fort Harrison at Terre Haute and was later killed in the skirmish with the Indians there. So Hudsonville was established in 1832, but John W. Barlow entered the first land. He was a major in the Black Hawk War, and he entered that first land, and that happens to be where the Hudson Massacre site was. Then Charles McCoy, who was an early postmaster at Hudsonville, married a Barlow girl, so he inherited that land. And it was always his idea that he wanted to make a memorial to the Hudson family. That didn't happen in his lifetime, But about 1967, we were offered a log cabin. And those weren't something you just got offered every day, so we, of course, wanted to do it. And the man who had offered it to us gave us the cabin, and some men in the Historical Society tore it down, brought it back to the site. Took us just about a year to get it going, so we got the Hudson cabin opened. And it has the things that the Hudsons might have had when they were there. A lot of our stuff is donated and loaned. So after we got that all going, it wasn't very long till we outgrew the cabin, so we needed to build a museum. So we took 2 cabins and built a museum. And that houses a lot of Hudsonville memorabilia. We have just tons of stuff in there. You just have to come to see that. When people come and visit on Sundays especially, they will usually be greeted by an 1812 reenactor in costume, as I am in today. And we are very grateful for all of the people who help us, the people who spend their time being docents, the people who do the ground maintenance. We have really had mostly all our 50 years, and it's been by volunteers. They are wonderful up there.
I have fallen in love with this organization and the people in it. The basic structure of United Way is that businesses and individuals donate funds to it. And the good thing about United Way is that we are good stewards of that money. We check out the agencies that we do support, and we support 20 in Crawford County. And we support initiatives in 3 areas: health, education, and financial stability. We don't want to just give financial stability. Sometimes we want to plan for the future. What can we do in our community to help impact the future so that we have fewer people who need to rely on financial help? One of the things we're very proud of supporting is the dual credit fees for our high school kids who take classes at junior college, so that kids are not held back from being able to have that opportunity because they can't afford it. So there's so many things like that that we do in different ways. One of our goals is to support health needs in the area, and we try to do that by working with our recreation departments, the Parks Department. We have an outdoor gym that United Way put up at Washington Park. We've helped with the tennis courts. We've helped with Randy's basketball court. We've helped with the pickleball courts. We've helped with a lot of area things that are much used. If you go to any of these facilities, there's people on them at all times. And if we can help with that, we think that's great. One of our biggest projects that we've taken on the last couple of years is 211. For us to get 211, we had to pay for it in Crawford County. I've looked at the map. North of us, they have 211. Southwest of us, they have 211, but we're like isolated. But communication in a small town is important. When people need to know where to go for help, I need help with my rent, I need help with my utilities, they don't know who to call. So if they can call 211, and that's an easy number to remember, it's a start. It gets them some information that they wouldn't have otherwise. I think it's very important for us all to understand that we are a large family. I was a teacher in the schools for years. Many of these people that we help or have needs are former students of mine. I feel invested in this community, and each one of us, when we can help the other one, we make it a stronger community. That's really what it's all about. Any one of us can have a problem and need help. And I feel, again, humbled to have that opportunity to help in any way that we can.
During the oil boom over 100 years ago, It had produced more than 2 billion barrels of oil, that at one time it produced as much as Iran and Iraq combined. So it was pretty big. And the oil industry was really not only Crawford County, but it was Lawrence County and counties above us and over to the east of us, stuff like that. So the men who put the oil belt together, they decided that we had to help the farmers and we have to help the oil men. And we can do that if we build a railroad. And of course, we have railroads all over here now. In the Constitution of 1909, it said that the proposed oil belt traction is a go, that the people really mean business. So the construction began just 30 days after it was begun. That's the Illinois Commission let it start. And they had Italian workers, Gandhi dancers they're called, or section hands. And these section hands got $1.75, which was considered pretty good money in those days. It ran for 20 miles. It was from Oblong to Bridgeport, and that's the only length it had. It wanted to go up to Charleston, and it wanted to go down to Mount Carmel, but it started, but it never finished. So they always lacked the money. Now, in the end, the Illinois Commission said, you know, you're done. And Mr. Finley, who was the president at that time, he said that he would pay for any debt that it incurred. He was a very well-to-do oil man in Bridgeport. And he said the oil belt had $125,000 and it had debt of $275,000. But he took it out of his own pocket and he paid everything for that. So because the trains improved and got bigger and bigger, then the cities grew as well. It was one of the important things that happened in Crawford County in the 1900s, or 1909. It was the middle of the oil boom. And with the railroads like that, other people got the idea that, you know, whether it made it or not, we were going to put another railroad through here, and eventually they did.
We're sort of an unusual county here because we had very early aviation pioneers, the Flying Roush brothers, and that's who the airport is named for. They started aviation careers back in the early 1900s. And the oldest brother built his first plane in 1909. And all three of them had aviation careers, which was very unusual for the time. Now, moving on, the actual airport itself was initiated in the 40s during World War II. It was a satellite airport for the airport at Lawrenceville, which was a World War II military airport. So they did pilot training here, aviation training, and then after the war, the airport was given to the city of Robinson. And then eventually it became a county-wide airport. For a small airport, we're considered one of the top airports in Illinois. And the way most small airports are maintained is they have what's called a fixed base operator. And that is a management company that we hire to run the airport. And in our case, it's Sky's the Limit, Howard Hunt and Sandy Stazak, and they're just wonderful people. And they do airport maintenance, they do maintenance on airplanes, they're licensed mechanics, they're licensed flight instructors, we have a ground school going on out there right now. One of the things they do that not very many airports can say, they work on Civil Air Patrol airplanes. Now, a lot of people aren't familiar with the Civil Air Patrol. They're a civilian-based auxiliary to the Air Force. The Air Force owns the planes, but they're flown by civilians. And Sky's the Limit, our fixed-based operator, keeps them flying in Illinois and in some of the adjoining states. They've worked on their planes too. And the Civil Air Patrol does search and rescue. They fly supplies around. If somebody's lost or there's some kind of a disaster, they're usually the first people in the air to do overflights. They do a lot of flight training. getting people interested in aviation careers. So those planes are all flying in Illinois because of our airport right here and the maintenance done on them. And just to talk a little bit more about why we're so important to the county, practically every business in this county is using the airport in some way, and the hospital as well. A lot of people don't realize this, but doctors fly in all the time. We have specialists come in that we would never be able to get otherwise. So we're very, very important to the hospital. Anybody here in town that uses a hospital could be seeing a doctor that flew into our airport. One of the last things I want to talk about is one of the ways we give back. Okay, besides being such an important part of the community, we want people to come out and have some fun out there. So every other year, we have an air show. The air show itself is just a fantastic event, and it's free, so we don't keep track of how many people come exactly, but I can say we have thousands, and we have all kinds of things. We have the air show itself, which is the planes flying. We have vendors, food, trucks, we have booths, and just all kinds of things for people to do. They can sit and watch, they can visit. We have activities for the kids. We have helicopter rides. It's just a great time. And we're really, really proud of it. We work really a whole year getting ready for it. And we want to serve the whole community. We want everybody involved, and we just want to be a part of the community and help.
Oh, I know you are loving these stories. I'm going to borrow Fritz's line where he says it's an Oblong state of mind. I'm going to tell you it's a Crawford County state of mind, really. Tonight we are all about Crawford County. Our people there are just amazing. If you ever get a chance to go by in that area, visit some of those sweet towns. Just amazing people that'll make you feel so welcome. And I just love all of those people down there.
I do too, and we've made such special friends this evening, and they're over there in the studio on the other side with us. They're back here behind us. We've got people who have come to join us this evening that were previous staff members. We have Kate Pleasant over in the control room. Jana Johnson was just here. All of our WEIU family is here. We need you to continue the celebration with us. This is our last pledge break for the evening. That was the last story of tonight's special program. So this is your opportunity to get these phones ringing off the hook. So who's going to start us off this time?
We need to
Let's
show
get these phones
Crawford
ringing.
County some love. So pick up the phone, call the number on your screen, and talk to these amazing storytellers that are sitting here behind us and the champions of that area. One DVD or Blu-ray is $75. 2 or more are $60 each. And I say get 2 or more, or 3 or 4, or 5 or 6. It doesn't matter. Get them for your loved ones so that they can enjoy them for years to come. Get one for Dad, because Father's Day is coming up, and we want to honor our dad. No better way to honor him than to give him a little piece of the history of Crawford County. And that's what we're all about tonight, is these sweet people of Crawford County that have come to be with us live in the studio. And I know these are your friends. Well, these are our friends too. And we're just really thankful that you've joined us tonight. So please get the phone operators busy. Barbara Scheimer's waiting for someone to call and talk to her. She's just so lonely sitting over here, even though she's got Miss Vicki May right beside of her. And then we got Doug Roberts back here and Vicki's husband, Jeff. I put on the thing because I didn't know his name at first. I said, Vicki May will be in our third segment, and Vicki's husband. And he just laughs every time I call him Vicki's husband. But his name is Jeff, and we're really glad he's here as well.
That's funny. Like I said earlier, it's a family affair, and you've got some more thank yous to share with me? Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here tonight with us, Braden. Thank you so much. All right, I've got Diana Thompson from Robinson, Illinois. Thank you for supporting Crawford County. This is our story. And Justin Weaver from Robinson as well called in. Thank you so much for your support.
We kept Diana busy on those phones over there. Every time I turned around, she was answering another phone call. And thank you, Diana, for supporting us as well. You're so sweet. Ronnie Poorman called in from West Union. Ronnie, thank you for calling and supporting WEIU. You know what happens when we get these people calling in with their support? What it does for us is it lets us know we're going to another town real soon just because you support WEIU, and you really show us that when you pick up the phone and call in your support tonight. Fritz Wheeler, dear Fritz Wheeler, man, is he a fundraising machine or what? He is the sweetest thing, and he had all kinds of cool lines tonight. I think it's 194 days before Christmas, but be sure to get your DVD and Blu-ray for your Christmas presents. Go ahead and stock up.
All right, well, you know what? I want to talk a little bit about some of the stories that we just heard, because if any of these stories are special to you, you need to call in, get a copy of the DVD, and make sure that you're spreading the news about Crawford County. The log cabins down there, the stories told by Scarlett in Hudsonville, what a neat historical place to visit. And that was a great story, absolutely. Thank you so much, Scarlett, for being here. She wore some great clothes to represent her story tonight, as she did in her story, so we appreciate you being here. The United Way, Barbara Scheimer is back here. I'm going to talk to her in just a moment, hopefully, but hopefully she's going to be on the phone as well. And what cool history about the Oil Belt Railroad, and some great photos told by Sue Jones, Chugging Toward the Future. That was such a neat story, and I loved how the history of the airport was showcased by Vicki, who's back there on the phone, and her husband. You know, we're so grateful for you being here tonight and seeing that smile at the end, because that's what this is all about, is being happy, showcasing your county, showcasing all the communities that make it up. So give us a call, get these people on the phone.
You all got me so excited tonight that I had to go get some new batteries put in my microphone. I'm telling you, it don't happen real often like that, but I guess I got so much energy, I've just soaked up all the energy from the batteries, and they put me some new ones in, so now we can just keep going forever. So as long as you call in, pick up the phone and call the number on your screen right now. Show Crawford County just how much you love these stories tonight. And just such sweet stories, and such sweet people telling their stories. And it makes you want to go sometime to visit that area. And it is such a great area and great people to get to go by and visit. They have a lot of cool stuff for families, very family oriented, in the parks and recreation, and just in so many different ways there in Crawford County. And of course, our dear Doug Roberts, who I'm getting ready to interview. Doug is, thank you for buying DVDs. Doug, you're amazing. I'm going to go back here. I know that I just did something I shouldn't have done, just walk right in front of that camera screen, but I'm excited to talk to Doug. Exactly, right? Doug, the library is so beautiful. It's so inviting. When you walk in, you really don't even want to leave. But you've created, you and your staff have created such an atmosphere, because I know when we walked in the doors the very first time, you all it was like you came like walking fast to the doors to greet us, to draw us in, and to make us feel welcome. So tell me what it means to you for Crawford County, this is our story, to have been produced right there, the production day right there at the library.
Well, I tell you, it was both an honor and a pleasure to have you guys there, and honestly, it was as much fun for us as it was for you all. And I tell you, sitting here tonight and watching this, I love history, and I've learned something out of every segment. Yeah. And you talk about my staff. I'm as lucky as it gets when it comes to being a manager and having a top flight staff. They're wonderful to work with, and that energy you saw, it was all genuine. And the other thing I would say is, if you're intrigued by what you see, come to the library, come to our genealogy area, and buy some Blu-rays and DVDs from this program tonight.
I love it because Doug Roberts doesn't do anything small. He's a big dreamer, and he has an amazing staff that are right there supporting him every step of the way and bringing his dreams to pass for the Robinson area at the public library right there in Robinson. Kian, back to you.
All right, well, that was wonderful hearing from Doug. Great things happening tonight. The phones need to be ringing. We did get an order online. We gave a shout out to them earlier, but you can order online as well. So if you don't want to talk to somebody here tonight, that's okay. We understand, but we just want to hear from you. We're so glad that we've had the support that we've had tonight. There you see $75 for one DVD, or a Blu-ray, 2 or more are $60 each. And you know what? This is a great way to capture the history of Crawford County and to be able to have it at your fingertips anytime that you want to watch it. I'm going to stand over here with Barbara Scheimer for just a minute because you and Vicki were talking just a moment ago, and I think this is just a way to encapsulate everything about Crawford County. Why don't you give us a little snippet of what you two were talking about?
Well, we were sharing that we think this could go on for like 10 hours because there's so much more that's not in this film. For example, the Palestine Rodeo. That's amazing, that what they put on and how long they've done it. It's so professional. It's a big deal. That's worth coming to Crawford County on Labor Day to come see. We have festivals throughout the year. There's always something going on. The Fife Opera House. If you come to Palestine, you should take a tour of that Fife Opera House. I personally, I'm not the historian to ask about how old it is, but it has the original hangings. It's amazing. I think we should have done a little story about Lincoln Trail College. We're very proud to have our own community college in the area, and they've got a great history of a great story in arts, of course, and in the sports, and we're very pleased with our graduates and all the stuff that they've done. We also have some cool areas. We have a forest preserve that's lovely. It's got a lake you can walk around with the paths, and a conservation area in the northern part of the county. There's just all kinds of hidden gems everywhere, and many more stories to be told.
Oh, that's so wonderful. You know what? We have so many stories that we include in these programs, and there's always lots of things left out. But you can see the pride in the community members down there, and we thank you for showcasing some of those things that didn't get talked about, but those are the wonderful things that you still get to learn about Crawford County. So thanks so much for sharing that.
You're quite welcome.
Wanda Kay, back to you.
We
got more people joining us
our sweet Crawford County folks with us tonight. We just are so thankful that you all joined us. Thank you for allowing us to share Crawford County with you tonight. Remember, you can still get DVDs and Blu-rays if you go online to our website, WEIU.net, and go ahead and order yours or order 2 or 3 of them. The more you order, the more happier we'll all be. And thank you for letting us share Crawford County. This is our story with you tonight. From all of us here at Crawford County, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. We're a big family now. Thank you so much for your support.
Crawford County, This Is Our Story on WEIU is brought to you in part by
Marathon Petroleum Company. We actively partner with our communities, governments, and business partners to find and create shared values, making a positive difference together. We are so proud of all of the storytellers making this program possible. Enjoy Crawford County, This Is Our Story on WEIU.
Reinl Kellenbrink LLC is a law firm concentrating primarily in the areas of personal injury, workers' compensation, and criminal defense. We are proud of everyone involved in producing Crawford County, This Is Our Story on WEIU. Enjoy the show from all of us at Reinl Kellenbrink LLC.
At Crawford Memorial Hospital in Robinson, Illinois, we understand that caring for your health is a team effort. A team effort went into the making of Crawford County, This Is Our Story, and we salute all that were involved. Crawford Memorial Hospital in Robinson is a proud partner of Crawford County, This Is Our Story.
Crawford County, This Is Our Story is supported by Casey State Bank. Your community, your bank. Casey State Bank salutes all of the storytellers who are making this show possible. Casey State Bank is proud to be part of Crawford County and the surrounding areas. Casey State Bank, your community, your bank, member FDIC.
Lincoln Trail College is a 2-year coeducational comprehensive public community college offering a full spectrum of transfer, occupational, continuing education, and community service programs. We are excited to bring you Crawford County, This Is Our Story on WEIU.
Tempco Products Co. is a manufacturer of custom vinyl windows and patio doors located in Robinson, Illinois. Temco thanks all of the champions and storytellers that are making this program possible. Enjoy Crawford County. This is our story on WEIU from your friends at Temco.
Founded in 1915, Weber Insurance and Realty is proud of all things Robinson and is honored to support Crawford County. This is our story on WEIU. Weber Insurance and Realty congratulates all of the storytellers appearing in the show and those who made it possible.
Crawford County, This is Our Story, is partially supported by a grant from the Illinois Arts Council, a state agency